What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Edi, and we are locked in. Today I have a movie recap. This movie is The Harder They Fall. Now, it was actually produced by Jay-Z. He even made an Instagram, believe it or not. You can see it here. Even though he deleted it after one day, it was just mainly a promotion for his first movie that he's actually producing. Now, this show is fictional, but it does have historical figures in it. Even though none of them really cross each other in real life, they put them all together and made a storyline for them. I'm actually going to have a breakdown of who each one of the characters are and who their real person is following my recap. But before we get into this, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and you want to be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, you know I like to break down shows. I give a little, a little history lesson in them also. And I also tell what would happen if I was there. So let's jump into it. This is The Harder They Fall recap. While the events of this story are fictional, these people existed. We start the show off with young Nat Love. He's our main character. He's a kid at this moment. He's playing the guitar. He's here with his father, a man of the Lord, and his good mother. Now, Dad takes the guitar from him, tells him none of that at the dinner table. But you know how it is. Before you eat, you have to pray over the food. You see young Nat try to reach for that cornbread. Mama hit that hen. Boy, you know we gotta pray. So now you gotta pray. And we all been there as a kid. Like, come on, Dad, don't take forever with this prayer. Right when it's time to eat, there's a knock at the door. Now, Nat's father is saying he doesn't know who it is. And when he goes to open it, there's a gentleman here with his head down with a cowboy hat. And he just steps on into the house. Now, this man comes into the house and you can tell the father is kind of nervous. He's looking at the family like, just chill. He also looks up above and he has a rifle up there. So you know that this means trouble is in the house. Now, this gentleman sits down and the father is saying, hey, man, don't do nothing to my wife and to my kid. He puts the gun up to both of them. He's like, look, man, this is between me and you. You don't have to involve them. This gentleman, he ain't trying to hear it, though. What does he do? He shoots the wife. Then he shoots the dad. After killing the parents before he leaves, he goes over to young Nat and he carves a cross in his head. So you just seen both of your parents get murdered in front of you, and then you get a cross carved in your head. Come on, man. You about 10 years old? That's horrible. Fast forward a couple of years, we get to see adult Nat now. You see the cross on his forehead, and he's inside of a church, and he's acting like he's praying. A gentleman comes in, and he has a scorpion on his hand. Now, Nat, what he's doing right now, he's bounty hunting, but he's telling the guy, hey, I'm here to kill a man that has a scorpion on his hand. And the guy saying, whatever we had, in the past, we don't have to worry about all that. Nat ain't trying to hear that. And Nat, pow, I'm talking about lays him down. I'm talking about he hit him so many times, it stood him up and they gave us the title. We starting off with The Harder They Fall. I'm talking about pink, pink, off the air, boom, on the ground, laid him out. He tells the pastor of the church, you turn his body in, you get $5,000. He's like, why won't you turn him in? He said, because I'm worth 10, meaning he got $10,000 on his head to be turned in also. He just, righting the wrongs in the world. We get introduced to Bill. Now, he's a marksman, and what he's doing is he's sitting up here and he's waiting on this gang that just robbed somebody to, ambush him. He done picked off 2 or 3 people already, so the whole gang, they jump off, they disperse, and now we got us a nice little shootout. There's a little bit of comedy in this too. Now, this guy's name is Clyde, and he's part of the gang, and him and his gang members, they start arguing over who's going to do what. Now, we get to see Jim. Jim is supposed to be the fastest shooter. He knows, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. Now, he comes and just go ahead and wipes him out the way because he's talking about, my mom said Bill and Jim were good kids, but look what he did to my eye. Well, he didn't last long. Jim is the younger guy with the red bandana on, and he swears he's the fastest quick draw in the West. But Bill's telling them, nah, there's a guy named Cherokee Bill. They say he the fastest thing ever. And Jim's like, well, that's only hearsay. You say that I'm the best. Now, the whole time, they also had one gang member left. But they saved him because they want to talk to him, find out some information. And he tells them that they just stole some money from one of the baddest men on the planet. And they made a big mistake because that ain't no bank money. That's Rufus money. Nat's been doing his job, so what better way is there to relax to go to a saloon? Now he gets to the saloon and there's a lady at the door named Cuffy. And she's talking about, hey, everybody got to check their weapons in. I'm the only person that can have a weapon in here. So Nat's looking at it like, man, I come here often. I should be good. Now, Cuffy, don't underestimate Cuffy, because she's tougher than what she looks like. And a couple of the patrons, they experience that when they first come in. She whoops on them. Now, they come in here, we get introduced to Mary, and I'm like, okay, Mary, you know what I'm saying? Her real name is Stagecoach Mary, and the myth is she was 6'6", over 200 pounds. This lady doesn't fit that description. But she's in there, and they counting down. They got some song going. They talking about what? Dude, they slapping the table and stuff. I'm like, man, this is a good ass place to chill at. Whole time, Nate's looking at her like, I see you up there. Turns out these two knew each other. You know, they come over. He talking about, you still ain't talking to me. But you know what I'm saying? When you've been apart for so long, they get the kissing and stuff. But out of nowhere, she punches him and knocks him out, talking about, I'm mad at you. After Mary knocks Nat out, she tells Cuffy, clean him up. And what Cuffy does is tell him what room she's staying in, because she owns the salon. So he goes up there, and of course, we know that she's mad at him right now. She's saying, the only words I should hear from you is goodbye, Mary. Like, just leave her alone. That's all she wants. Now, our man Nat is smoother than what you think. He done talked his way back into it. She talking about, I'm not trying to risk nothing with you just because you stumbled back into my life. He's like, oh, yeah, well. He comes over, gets to rub it on her. They get to kissing. Now he pulls out a ring and it's like, all right, I'm back. I want to go ahead and propose to you. He was about to get his freak on. He was about to propose. But here comes Bill knocking. So Bill and Jim, we seen them in the little shootout earlier with the gang. They're part of Nat's crew. And he's like, look, Nat, I got something to show you that you might want to see right now. The one member of the gang that they kept alive, they bring him in to question him because he's telling them they stole some money from Rufus, you know, the biggest, baddest man on the block. Now, when Nat comes in there, he's talking to him and he's telling them, hey, you made a mistake. That isn't bank money. That's Rufus. And he's supposed to be getting loose pretty soon. So this gives Nat and them, should we give this money back or should we keep it? Because that's what we do. We rob the robbers. Nat walks off and he lets the guy go. Now, Mary, Bill, and Jim, they're all sitting around. You hear Jim say, man, I could have bet my gun that he was going to kill him. She like, it don't matter. If y'all don't get that money back, y'all better off dead anyway. Rufus is coming for y'all. Now we get to see the opposition, the gang, led by Trudy Smith and Cherokee Bill. And they see a train they like, and it looks like an easy come up. Of course, it's an all-white train. So when they get on there, Cherokee Bill takes the lead. And he tells everybody, don't make any moves. Don't make it harder than what it is. We're just going to rob you. So just chill, relax, and give us everything you got. Of course, there's a hero on the train. He tells him, get off of here. You don't belong here. Cherokee Bill walks right up to him, takes his knife out, and I'm talking about slits his legs, lays him on down, get him up out of here. So I bet everybody else is going to go ahead and cooperate now. Now, there's a young military man on here, and he has a little rifle. And Cherokee Bill told him to put his weapon down, but he pulled it up. So when Cherokee pulls his gun out, you see all the guns behind him pointed at everybody. Go ahead and put that rifle down, young man. It's not worth your life. Now, the young man lies. He says there's about 30 armed guards on the train, even though there's only 10. So Cherokee Bill, they take him to the door, and they knock on it, and they say, hey, open it up. You know what I'm saying? Put your guns down because we have one of yours. Now, he starts counting down because the guy on the other side doesn't quite believe him. They end up opening the door because Trudy, she got a little trigger happy and started shooting the young men just to let them know we ain't playing. They put their guns down and they go ahead and open the door. When they get in, they talk to the general and they tell him, hey, Rufus, the one you got locked up, he has a part in here. You're supposed to let him go. Now, the reason these people are transporting them is because they're crooked. So they're doing some things behind the scenes that they're not supposed to. And that's why Trudy and Cherokee Bill came to get their leader, Rufus. So they show him the pardon and they tell him to go ahead and open it on up. Rufus gets out of his little cell. He does a little stretch. Sir, take these cuffs off of me. He looks around and he asks, who can drive a train in here? Everybody's scared. You know, I would have probably been like, I can drive it. Because, hey, I'll at least try. You know what I'm saying? If they're going to let us off the train, I'll at least try to drive this thing out of here. But the kid raises his hand. And since he's the only one that knows how to drive, Rufus tells him, get rid of everybody else except for the kid. And the kid drives the train off. Back at the saloon, y'all know the rules. No guns because you might get gunned down. But Bass Reeves, he comes in. And if you don't know Bass Reeves, he's the first African-American deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi with like over 3,000 arrests. So he's the real deal. And he tells her, I wear my gun everywhere I go. I work my way up to get this position, and I do what I do. Now, even Cuffy knows who he is, so she, you got to kind of respect it. Now, Baz comes in, he starts asking Rufus about some robberies. The Crimson Hood gang that we seen earlier, there was some robberies. But Nat saying, I was in Texas. Unless the robberies happen there, I don't know nothing. And everyone's looking, they're saying, man, we should be having our guns on them. Nah, Baz don't need no protection. He'll make it happen. They over there talking, and out of nowhere, you see Nat throw his drink on him. Baz hops up with 2 guns, one on Nat and one on the crowd. And he tells them, look, y'all can shoot at me, but if you miss, he gonna die, and then all y'all gonna die. So they like, oh, shoot, this dude for real. He tells Cuffy to come over here, take these handcuffs, and place it on him. Also, I'm turning him in because y'all remember he got that 10,000 bounty on his head. I'm turning him in for a fair trial, and none of y'all better follow me or it's gonna be ugly. Rufus is out, and what Rufus is trying to do is buy all of the land that's in the little town that they live in. But that $25,000 that was stolen, yeah, we needed that to cover everything. Now, when they go in to talk to the banker, he's saying someone robbed us, and we only got $2,500 here. Mind you, they need $25,000. So they're looking at it and they're thinking, whoever robbed us, that's silly. They know that's suicide. We know Rufus is upset. The bank ain't got no money. He's been robbed. So they're heading down to talk to the mayor/sheriff. Now, Willie Escoe is the mayor, and he's in here and he's tough talking. We like, dang, he talking bad to Rufus. Look at you, looking like yesteryear. You ain't got nothing, and you coming to me and you want something. Well, it turns out he was just tough talking himself to try to prepare himself to actually go face to face with Rufus. They talking about, sir, Rufus wants you outside. They so scared of Rufus, they pulled their gun on the sheriff and said, man, he ain't taking no for an answer. It's not a request. You need to get out there. And they his security guards. Well, I don't have to say much. He got out there. He's talking to Rufus. And Rufus is telling him, I'm not trying to hear none of that. He sucker punched Rufus, and that was the worst decision he could make. He grabs a gun from Trudy. I'm talking about pistol whipping him. Boom, boom, boom. Knocked his golds out, told the little kids, grab that gold. Now y'all rich. So they got his gold teeth. They going to their parents like, look what I got, mom. Rufus laid him out and told him, you need to leave right now or we gonna kill you. After riding a little distance, Baz pulls over and he actually lets Nat out. And Nat saying, you could have took these handcuffs off me a long time ago. So these two know each other, and he was just bringing them out here to talk to him and discuss things that are going on with Rufus. So Nat wants to know, how did he know that Rufus was going to be in Redwood? Well, that's because that robbery was supposed to take that money out there. And Nat says, I was going to kill you, old man. But, I heard it was a couple of y'all brought Rufus in. Baz says, let me correct you. I brought him in by myself. Basically saying, I do this for real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talk it, I really live it. While they're talking about what they need to do to get Rufus and not teaming up, blah, 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 the whole crew, they end up showing up because they actually followed. They wanted to see where their leader was going. And when they get there, she's telling the marshal, you can put your gun down. We're not going to ambush you or anything. But she's going hard on our boy Nat and tells him, you probably need to keep yours up. I can't trust you. Now, everyone's saying, look, we with you, Nat. If you're going to go after Rufus, we're going to go with you. But Rufus, he's a bad man. So Nat and the marshal tells him there's no coming back for this. This isn't a game. You even see Jim talking about, I'm not going to turn it down, because he shows the little marks on his neck. He was either getting choked and, saying Nat saved him. So he's like, I'm coming with you. Plus, I want to see who's really the fastest, me or this Cherokee Bill. So, hey, the whole crew, they in. All of the people of Redwood gather around. We need to talk to you. Trudy explains to them, listen, we need to come up with $50,000 and we'll be able to keep all of the land and all the property that we have now. If not, it's going to be sold and just become part of the territory. It won't be Redwood City anymore, meaning it won't be black owned. Now, Rufus has a way of fixing this. We just need to tax everybody and put $50,000 down. Now, that's where they needed that $25,000 that they stole. Dang, we ain't got it now. So now they got to tax the people. And the people were saying, we heard about Rufus. He's a bad man. And there's not enough people here to even come up with $50,000. Now Rufus comes out and he hears, what's your name? Jeymes in the crowd. Yeah, well, we're going to use that as an example. And he goes ahead and kills Jeymes. R.I.P. to Jeymes. And he tells people, how much can we make? And they like, man, 10,000. But if we squeeze every penny, we can get 15,000. So y'all have a short amount of time to get this $15,000 together. If not, everything you have will burn down. It's like, dang, man, either we pay this money or we let the stuff burn. Hey, I got $37 right here, sir. This is all cash I got. I can give it to you right now. I'm just going about my business is what I would have said. Nat and the crew, they got a little campfire up. This is where we're going to be, headquarters right now. Whole time, everyone's just chilling, cleaning their weapons. Jim, he swear he the fastest shooter in the West. He over here playing with his guns, talking about Marshall, look, Marshall. And Marshall said, them tricks, they gonna get you killed. Now, y'all need to remember that. Hey, don't play with it, just get it done. Out of nowhere, you hear Cuffy say, I've seen faster. Jim talking about where? Wait, what you talking about? I'm faster than any weapon. Ain't nobody faster than me. She talking about when I looked in the mirror. Now, they start laughing, but hey, Cuffy, she standing behind her word. You know what I'm saying? She talking her talk. She got the quickest draw according to her. Now, they came up with a plan. How are we going to get in touch with Rufus? How are we going to make this happen? So what they come up with is Mary, she actually rides into Redwood City and she's going to go talk to Rufus and let him know, hey, we got something that you want. You know what I'm saying? Let's make a little deal. But in reality, they're really trying to capture him and turn him in just to get him out the street. Mind you, Rufus has only been in town for one day. And I'm talking about he doing it up in the saloon. He got a girl painting all blue. She dancing and stuff. Mary's looking around like, dang, this is hyper than my saloon. I bet everybody in here is working no charge because this money's got to go to that $50,000 they need. Now, when Mary gets over to talk to Rufus, what she's trying to do is convince him, hey, you know who I am. I got a saloon. I got another one. I got a restaurant. So if you attach my name to this, it's going to bring in money. People be coming to Redwood City because they want to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, get down in here. And Rufus is listening, but he's like, nah, I heard about you, who you used to hang with. You know what I'm saying? You was with Nat and them. Y'all robbing people? Nah, I don't really know about this. Long story short, Rufus, he sees right through this. He says, I'm not trying to hear all this BS. This isn't no coincidence. The Crimson Hoods, they get robbed of my money and you're coming in here talking about taking this out of here? Nah, Trudy hits her with the butt of the gun. Boom, knocks her out. So this plan didn't go nearly anywhere as expected. Now, Trudy's about to have her way because they were throwing a little bit of jabs at each other during this meeting. Now, Mary's tied up and she's telling her a story about her sister Mary. Beautiful woman, strong, you know what I'm saying? But one thing is, we don't believe in no hope. There was only hope one time in her life. But it turned out to not be hope. It was just they didn't die. I told you, Trudy gets to have her way with her now. She's tied up. She bringing the big dude. He start choking her out. Mary in the seat. Yeah, you ain't disrespecting Trudy no more. But she doesn't kill her. You know, let her breathe. Now, Mary hasn't came back, so they figure, damn, they caught her. We got to ride on into town. And when they get there, they see Mary. She's thrown out on the ground. Trudy wants everybody to see her. Nat, he walks up to her and they start talking. And he kind of tells her, look, if y'all do anything to her, then your boss won't see any of that money. And Trudy's saying, my boss? Because to her, Rufus ain't the boss. Rufus may be the strongest, but he ain't the boss. So it's kind of an even exchange. That you don't do nothing to her, we bring you the money. But one thing we know about this, the bad guys never play fair. Now, you remember Jim. He swears he's the fastest. He actually goes up to Cherokee Bill and he's saying, I hear you the fastest out here. Well, won't we do a little showdown right now? You know what I'm saying? What you got? Cherokee Bill saying, nah, man, the man that talks the most, he ain't really gonna do nothing. So Cherokee Bill just tells him, I'm about to go get me a drink and walk off. And you got Jim like, man, what? Forget that drink. Let's have this showdown right now. Cherokee Bill ain't worried about you. Cherokee Bill's keeping a level head. Now Jim talking about, I've been practicing that, man. I've been ready for this standoff. And I'll let you draw first because I'm gonna make it easy for you. Cherokee Bill ain't bite for that. Jim, just get back, brother. We didn't even need this right now. We over here trying to negotiate and get Mary back. You over here starting some side mission from a video game. They put Mary back in the cell. They tie our boy Nat up. And you remember Big Boy that was choking Mary out? They got him working overtime. I'm talking about with a full button down on and the vest, going straight at that bat, tearing his chest up, hitting him in the gut, and he tied up. So he just got to stand strong, make it through it, Nat. But I know I'd be like, damn, bro, chill. What y'all need, man? I know more punches, please. Rufus comes in and they stop that horrific beating on Nat. I'm talking about it was getting ugly in there. But he comes in and he has the wedding ring that Nat was supposed to get her married. He also tells Nat, the reason I put that cross on your forehead is not so you can remember me. It's so I can recognize you when you came looking for me. And also, the money that you guys stole, you got till Friday to bring me that money back. But also, $10,000 on top of that. We're going to call that the interest. Now, Nat, of course, they don't have $10,000 extra. They just had the $25,000 that they stole. So what he does is he tells Nat, since you ain't got it all, you can go rob a bank. You rob that bank and that'll be all the money you owe me. But he also slides over a blade, and it's the same blade that put the cross on Nat's head. The reason Rufus is having them rob the bank is so he'll be clear of everything. You know, he just got out of jail. He doesn't want any of his associates, you know what I'm saying, to be the ones caught robbing the bank. They have to come up with a plan on how they can get in this bank so none of them are recognized. The only person that can be recognized going into this bank would be Nat. So what they do is they bought a dress for Cuffy. But you seen Cuffy, she talking about, man, hell no, I don't want to put this thing on. They like, hey, you gotta wear it. Now while she's getting dressed, they're all right there. Nat turns around, but not Jim. Jim's looking like, ooh, what? Just what I expected, a close shave, damn. Cause for a moment there, I thought I was falling in love with a man. That ain't me, y'all. This is Jim talking about that. I know I ain't the only one. Bill, he like, nah, it's just you. And he's looking around like, all right, okay, well, this is a woman, y'all. This is a woman. Nat and Gathegi, that's her real name, Gathegi, but she just goes by Cuffy. They get there, she doesn't know how to walk in, you know, in the shoes for a dress or in a dress. And he's like, all right, just, you know what I'm saying, be calm. We got to go in here. We got to figure out a way to rob this bank now. Now, Cuffy, she goes up to the register and she's talking about, I want to make a withdrawal. Now, they the only two black people here, and this whole town is white. They even got white sand out there. All the buildings are white. But when she gets to the register, the lady, she kind of starts laughing at her like, you got to have an account to be here in this bank to withdraw anything. So all the other tellers, they laughing. She ain't got no account in here. So Cuffy pulls the gun out, talking about, I want to make this kind of withdrawal. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not no cash on hand withdrawal. I want it all. And of course, Nat got her back there. He pulled out two guns. He hit the main security at the front door, got a gun on him. Now this gentleman over here got his gun pointed at him, but he gets him to drop his gun because he understands, look, if you shoot at me, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to kill him. So it'd be best you put your gun down. Cuffy in the back, grabbing up all the money. They got everybody to one side. And Nat's talking about the easy part is robbing the bank. The hard part is making sure you don't kill nobody. Basically letting them know, hey, it ain't no problem. It ain't no problem. Don't make no moves. They come out the bank. I'm talking about they got all the money. They even got the bank manager bringing out bags. They put Cuffy on first, hit the horse, get it out of there. And then he tells the manager, thank you, lowers the brim to him, and he rides off. But of course, they got to have some people shooting to get him up out of there because they ring that alarm. And of course, everybody in this white town, they coming out. Don't matter though. Nat laying them down. You remember the mayor sheriff, Wiley, that got ran up out of there, whooped on by Rufus? He brings an arsenal to the crew and tells them, no one's going to take what I got coming to me. These guns, they spread all around everywhere, and I know where several of them are. But no one's going to take what I got coming to me, not even the devil himself. Now, you hear the marshal say, he's not the devil, he's just a regular person. Because the marshal actually took him in by himself. And he's also letting them know he believes just like y'all do. There's no reason to be scared of this guy. We got to come back into town. We got to figure out what we're actually going to do. Now, we see the sheriff, he coming in, and they got snipers on the roof. They looking at him through the sights and everything. And he pulls up and he stops because we need to negotiate something. Come on, let's work here. Whole time, we trying to do a little setup. We need a little diversion going on. So Bill goes up top. I told you guys early, he's a marksman. So what he does, he goes up here, knocks out one of the snipers that they got. So now we got us somebody up top. That's what you always want, that high ground. Now, Baze, he walks off with Cherokee Bill, and he's trying to tell him the terms of engagement. I told you, we need to make a kind of a deal here. So while he's walking off with him and telling him, we got the money, y'all got the girl, this is what's actually going to happen. And out of nowhere, you hear a gunshot go off, and that whole trailer just, boom, boom, the carriage just blows up. I'm talking about debris going everywhere, people jumping. I would have woke up and came out the house like, man, what the hell? Yep, time to go out the back door. Hey, let's get the horses and let's go. Now, Cherokee Bill, he's like, man, what the hell is that? Now, one of the guards named Angel, he said, I'm willing to bet my right arm I got a better body count than you, Sheriff. And Sheriff told him that ain't a bet you want to make, because the sheriff has over 3,000 arrests and he got 14 bodies, confirmed bodies in self-defense. But he's just talking about, is that the right hand or the left? Because he won that bet, and that's the right hand. Now that we got the little ruckus out the way, Sheriff Bates tells Nat, come on in here. Coast is clear. We got the high ground. And you see Rufus looking from the mayor's office straight down at him like, man, what do these sneaky fools got up? Now they actually bring in the real money this time, and they show him this is what we got. But they also got a stick of dynamite there. So Cherokee Bill say, all right, we're going to count this money first. Nat said, no. Let's get married, because if not, your boss is going to be $35,000 short and one quick draw short. And if you don't know what that means, is they going to blow up all this money. That's $35,000 gone. In the quick draw, it's Cherokee Bill. That means they going to kill him. So we're not counting that money. We need Mary right now. Cherokee ain't trying to hear none of that. So as Nat's walking away, he pulls his gun on him. And you hear Nat say, really? In the back? You supposed to be the bad guy. You supposed to be big bad Cherokee Bill, the quickest draw we ever seen. But you gonna shoot somebody in the back? Too bad for Cherokee Bill, he wasn't watching his back. And our Jim Beckworth, he's been waiting on this. He's been waiting to see who got the quickest draw. So he got his gun on him. Are they gonna make it happen? Now he's challenging Cherokee Bill right now. Telling him, I'm not gonna shoot him, because we won't see who's the fastest. Now he takes out all the bullets out of his gun. He puts a bullet in his gun that has Cherokee engraved in it. Now while he's doing all this, all you can do is remember about Sheriff Bates telling them all that showing off is going to get you killed. So you hear Cherokee Bill say, all right, let's count it down from 5. He starts counting down 5, 4. Right when he gets to 3, Cherokee Bill shoots him right through the mouth. Like, man, I hate people that count that slow. You should have known Cherokee wasn't going to play fair, man. You should have just let him. You should have let him have him when you had a chance. R.I.P. to Jim. But Bill, his best friend, now he going crazy. He on the roof letting off shots. They show everybody's face, and now we got us an all-out war now. Damn, R.I.P. Jim. Everybody letting off shots. And one thing I always notice in movies, whenever you see the stars of the movie, they are good shots when it comes to hitting extras. They never, ever hit the target of who they really trying to get. But if you're an extra in a movie, you better believe as soon as you show your face, pow, you getting shot up. It's going down. I'm talking about Nat and Mary back to back. She got the shotgun. Bow. Nat got the 2 revolvers. Pew, pew, pew. She sees Trudy running off. She said, oh, I want her. We want that one-on-one. These two, they get into this little barn. I'm talking about, all right, it's going down. Neither one of them got ammo left. So they got to, scrap it out. They ain't here. They on the ground. Trudy hitting her on top of the head with a bottle. I'm talking about, man, it is going down in here. Sheriff ain't playing around. He walking people down. Pew, pew, pew. I'm talking about everybody's getting hit. Every extra that come out the building. Hey, bow. Lay him down. Nat out here not paying attention, thinking stuff is sweet because he done killed a few people. He catches one in the shoulder. I'm talking about it hit him so hard it knocked his hat off. So, pow. Damn. Wiley then came back. He done helped out too. He came in the house with a stick of dynamite. His 2 dudes in front of the window. It'd probably just been easier to pow, pow, shoot them both. But nah, he takes a stick of dynamite, throws it over there, jump. Boom! I'm talking about it's a big explosion. Backup arrives though, and it's the Crimson Hood. They like, oh no, we got to help Rufus out. And especially they in debt to Rufus since they lost that $25,000. It doesn't matter who shows up. Nat makes easy work of him. I'm talking about he picking all of them off. He pulls one off. He slides across the dirt, picks up a gun, shoots somebody else on the ground. He ain't caring at all. You talking about laying people down. Yeah, Nat got the most bodies right now. Cuffy and Bill, they run to take cover. When they get in there, he sees that he was shot. But when he pulls it out, I was like, oh man, I'll be damned. He got saved. Looked like a 50-cent piece got hit by the bullet. But Cherokee Bill's behind him. Boom, puts one in him. Cuffy sees this and she's like, whoa. You killed my boy Bill? What you gonna do, shoot me in my back too? Now we get to see what this showdown is like. So she holsters her gun, but believe me, she's not gonna do that slow 5-second count. But now we gotta get ready to draw. And let's see who the fastest is. They go at it, a shot goes off, and look at Cuffy's face. Cuffy won this showdown, caught him in the neck. Cherokee Bill stumbles outside, drops down, lets go of his neck, and it just everywhere. Dang, we finally got one person to get Cherokee Bill. The lady's still in this barn going at it. I'm talking about Trudy had a pitchfork. She trying to get at her. They throwing paint in each other's eye. Man, this is the most in detail fight scene we've seen. Everything else is, shooting. But they get in here and Mary ends up winning this. She gets Trudy down, hits her with the butt of the rifle. Boom, you just see, it goes everywhere. Now it's time for the big showdown between Nat and Rufus. And you hear the sheriff tell him, don't miss. When you go in there, do not miss. When Nat goes into the room, he sees Rufus is over there just sitting there, not doing anything. And Rufus gets to talking and he starts explaining about how his father left, started a new family, became one with the Lord, and he didn't really like that. He feels like his dad just disappeared off of the face of the earth and left him. So he was hurt about that. Once he came along and found his dad, turns out he didn't have another son. He's living a life. He didn't gave himself to the Lord. He's not even thinking about Rufus. Turns out Rufus is Nat's older brother. And he's telling Nat, Dad changed his last name from Buck to Love. Now, Nat, he's not believing this. I probably wouldn't believe it either. It's like, man, you just trying not to get killed. He tells Nat killing his dad and his wife was to get the revenge on his dad by just letting his son live. And that's why he carved the cross into him, because if you gave yourself to the Lord, then all right, then this is your blessing here. And he's telling Nat straight up. He even shoots the ground. Get your revenge. Kill me for what happened. And of course, that's what Nat does. He shoots him. And then when he goes down, he empties the whole revolver. I'm talking pow, pow, pow. And he blacks out. He just keeps clicking. There ain't nothing left. It's just click, click, click. But he's letting that thing go. So we don't know if Rufus is telling the truth. But if he is, that was his big bro. And he did what he had to do. Now they take Rufus out. They bury him. They also bury their comrades. And you hear Mary say, is the law going to believe that he's dead? Bass is like, I'm the law. I believe he's dead. So that's all that matters. Now, Cuffy, she's going separate ways. She's going to go ahead and go with the sheriff because she never thought, that she would be any kind of law enforcement. She was just doing security at the saloon. So she hugged Mary and tells her, hey, I'm going on about my way. Of course, Nat and Mary, they ride off. You hear Mary say, we got work to do. He got to catch up to her. They going their way. Then we got Bass and Cuffy going their way. Hey, the 4 remaining, they got to go on to live their life. There you go, the movie recap of The Harder They Fall. Overall, I give it about a 7.5 out of 10. There were a few parts that I felt were drawn out and we probably didn't need, but I'd watch this movie again, definitely would. I'm going to do a breakdown of each of the individual characters and who their real person was and what their story was, so make sure you tune in for that. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.